Are you tired of losing track of your leads and missing out on sales? In this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that I implement in my company for my team to consistently be able to work the leads that are in our CRM and consistently be able to close those leads with ease. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. As we go through this together, if you want to get a copy of this so you can essentially just steal this, change some things up for your CRM and how it should be set up, you can actually go to the description below and get access to this. So let's take a look here. As you can see, this is the master copy of the SOP process of how leads need to be managed at my company Scale with Pros. And so when we're looking at this, you're going to notice we do have a few different stages here. So I'm going to kind of cover some of the main bullet points and why we do what we do here. So when we're looking at, number one on lead contact and just sales call updating, these are just some standards that we're expecting the sales team to do from, again, this is operationalizing sales. I don't call myself a sales guy. I'm more of a, operations guy that helps sales be more efficient. So when we're looking at this, our CRM is actually called Contact Simply. If you want to get something set up similar to this, we can, show you how to do that if you go to contactsimply.com. So when we're looking at it here, these are some of the directions that we're giving to our reps. So, hey, download the app so you can manage your leads from your phone. At this particular company, the process happens where people actually book a call and those calls are all taken over Zoom. So that's the sales motion that's happening. They're booking appointments that way. If your process is a little bit different, you can take the best practices here and just tweak it a little bit there. The other thing that we do, just, a couple rules that we give them when reps are first starting. We have some templates that we give them to be able to kind of like note take that they'll utilize within the CRM. So we have those there. And then when they actually finish their sales calls, we want to document everything that they're doing. Why do we want to do that? Because it helps build additional training. So whenever a rep actually completes a call, and if it's a lost sale, meaning they didn't buy and it wasn't going to be a good fit, we want them to take all of those sales calls and put those into a Google Drive folder called Sales Lost Recordings. So we can have those for quality assurance, so we can have those for training purposes and for the rep to utilize and get feedback on to get better. The other thing that we do is we have all of the won calls in one Google Drive folder as well. And so the reason we want that is, again, the same reason we want the lost ones. We want to be able to identify trends and things that are happening on the calls that are won versus the calls that are lost. And by doing this, it allows us to consistently upskill our reps and, for them to be able to close at a better rate. And we take all of the won recordings and we're able to listen to those calls and then document those and put them into the training for new reps. So when a new rep comes in and they're doing their onboarding, they're able to have a few of these sales won calls that are available for them so they could listen to those call recordings, see what went well, what went wrong, and we'll provide them that in their training. And the same thing with lost, maybe hearing certain objections that someone didn't overcome and then learning about what they should have done is going to help that rep get better themselves. So those are just a couple of the high level things you'll notice here. I said, if it didn't happen in Contact Simply, it didn't happen, meaning we need 100% compliance within the CRM. And so the reason we need that is we don't know what the heck's going on if we don't have the notes in there. Reps saying, oh, well, I did it on my personal phone, or, oh, I called them on my personal phone, or I didn't put the notes in the CRM, but I remember what happened. That doesn't work for us. Part of their job as a rep working at our company from a process operational standpoint is these are the things that are required for them to have done their job. Yes, they need to hit their numbers. Yes, they need to hit their revenue targets. Yes, they need to do those things and be working on their skills, but they also need to be making sure they're compliant within our system. And so this is how we do that. And so let's look at the stages. So we have new lead. That's the first stage that a lead's going to come into our CRM. They're going to be tagged as a new lead. And this is our sales pipeline from start to finish. So they come in and then we have directions on, well, what must be true for that lead to be in that particular status. This is, pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to read you line by line here, but it essentially is a what must be true for it to be in this status. What actions must be taken for this particular status to move to the next status? And then the frequency of action. Can you begin to realize how dialed in, we get this so that our reps are super clear on what they need to do and when they need to do it. So check this out. So literally when a new lead comes in the first day, we hammer that new lead. The goal is for them to call right here within the first 5 to 10 minutes of that lead coming into the system, because they just filled out a form. They just maybe got a lead magnet. They just got something in our system. So we want to reach out to them as quickly as possible. And then, you'll notice day one, literally day one, check out how many contacts we attempt on day one. We're double dialing them. So that's 2 attempts. Then we're sending a follow-up SMS, 3 attempts. We're then sending an email, 4 attempts within the first 10 minutes of a lead coming in the system. Depending on the time of day, this just depends. Like if they come in at 6 p.m., they're not going to have a second, round at this. But if they came in the morning, you absolutely bet they will. They'll have those 4 attempts. Then at the end of the day, before they're finishing up, they're going to go and double dial that lead again, and then send another follow-up SMS and email, because leads are the most warm right when they come into the system. So we want speed to lead as quickly as possible to get that conversion. Then self-explanatory, we have a day 2, 3, 5, 7, where they're going to be doing follow-up, and then they're going to end up in our long-term nurture. One of the things you'll notice, 10 plus attempts, if you actually add all of these up, they're 20 plus attempts before they're actually moving them to a nurture where they just haven't been able to reach them. And then our automations in our system will go to work and email them, SMS them, and do that to try to re-engage and get them to book a call. Then let's say an appointment is set, whether they booked the appointment directly or our rep from all of those outreach attempts books the call. They move to the appointment set stage. And what must be true for them to be in this stage? These are all of the things that must be true. And then we have actions. So just like in this stage, we have what must be true, and then what actions need to be taken, and any other SOPs that need to be adhered to. So actions they need to take. We also have directions on pre-call ritual of what must be true for them, how we want them to set up the stage for the call, making sure they confirmed attendance, making sure that they're ready for the call, making sure that the sales rep themselves have their app in front of them, they're prepared, they've taken the time to get ready. They have their CRM open so they could take notes. This is, just really a training on the objections in our particular sale that they could be getting. So this is just a link to the potential objections that they have, so they could do a quick review of what potential objections could come up, and just a quick refresher before the call. Of course, being present on the call. So it's really like, again, a reminder of what to do on the call. Always showing up on time for the prospect, of course, is important. So again, these are just SOPs that we expect our reps to follow. And then what happens when somebody no-shows? Well, inevitably, people will no-show. You don't get 100% attendance on calls that get booked. And so we have to look at what do we do in that case. So first, they get moved to the no-show pipeline. The lead failed to attend the scheduled appointment with no notice. Okay, so if there's no communication, unresponsive, sometimes emergency does happen. Again, like what they're going to do is actually call them twice, try to get them on the phone, and see if they can get them rebooked, or just get them, to get on the Zoom call. Maybe they forgot or something happened. Life happens, right? So we just give them some directions on what to do. Again, they're manually taking them from appointment set to a no-show. And then they're going to reach out to the lead daily to try to reschedule, send the emails, SMSs, providing links to reschedule. After no response, after a few attempts, move them into just the follow-up status. So again, here we are, which if a lead is in the follow-up status, here are the things that must be true. Are you beginning to see these same trends in each of these stages? What must be true for it to be in this stage? What actions must be taken in this stage? And then, really the SOPs of what do they need to do, and how would it move to the next stage from here? So again, you could read this on your own. Not going to bore you with reading every single thing, but this should just give you an idea of what this looks like from each stage that they're going through. Then when we move to the next step, which is ready to onboard. So again, our business is onboarding. If your business is, you need to provide now a service for the client, or you're shipping out a product, or whatever your business is, this is that next step. So for us, it's onboard, because we're onboarding them to provide a service for them. Again, what must be true? The lead has agreed to move forward with the services, and we have collected payment, and we have received the client service agreement. They don't move to this stage until they've received the service agreement and we've received payment. So we don't confuse our onboarding team of having somebody that actually hasn't completed the sales process. A completed sales process for us is we collected money and we had an agreement signed. And then here are the action items here for that individual rep to go through to make sure that they actually get filled out all of this correctly, so that we can have a great handoff between sales and onboarding as well. Now moving on, long-term nurture. These are your leads that essentially, they came in, they were a new lead, they went ghost, you're never able to reach them, or they were interested, maybe they're a few months out. They're like, I'm really interested, but I'm about to have my honeymoon for 3 weeks and I'm going to be gone. Like, reach out to me sometime in, I'm filming this on Halloween, October 31st. So I would follow up with them. Okay, maybe it's beginning of December. These are the people that are maybe just further out, but are worth still reaching back out to at some point. Other leads that you've just never been able to reach, and you just let your company's automation machine go to work and email them, SMS them, and try to re-engage those leads to bring them in. And the lead is not ready for follow-up in the near term. Near term for us is over 60 days. Up to 60 days is short term, and then before 60 days, short term, after 60 days, more longer term. Again, a lot of this really is when, the rep has maybe some free availability, maybe a couple of their calls fell off the books and they need to do some just nurturing. They can go and actually hammer and just, single line dial the list of people on here just to try to re-engage them, just see if they can get them on the phone. That's the purpose of this list. And so in a nutshell, that is exactly what our process looks like, from lead coming into our CRM, how the lead needs to be worked, what must be true for them to do it, last updated date, which is always important, who updated the SOP. So this is how, any SOPs are set up at our company, last updated, who last updated it. So we always can go understand what the heck changed when there are changes on a CRM. And if you made it this far into the video and you are a business owner, you're a founder of a company, and you're trying to turn your company into a high profit, self-managing organization, that is exactly what myself and my team at Scale with Pros help companies do. If you want to learn what it looks like for us to actually install what we call our profit-powered scaling system directly into your business so that you can create that high-profit self-managing company, go ahead and check out the description below, click the link, and learn more. And we look forward to helping you grow. With that being said, we'll see you in the next video.